I'm not going to move until I have the pump. Externally, I mean. Otherwise, I'm just moving. There's nothing happening inside. I may not have proper structure. That's what I was going to say. You know, I always say this, but it sounds weird. But most people, when they're doing the form, if you walk up to them and, you know, grab their wrist or something and resist whatever motion they're making, they can't continue to move. Or if they do, it's with the application of quite a lot of strength, okay? But if you already have that expanded condition, that pump, before you start moving, and it's present the whole time you're moving, and someone comes up to you and grabs your wrist and doesn't let you move, you'll just throw them away. That's how this stuff works. In any direction you're going, because your body's unified and because you're not fighting the point of contact, you're just continuing the rotations. But if you don't have the pump, you know, you can stand there and you can tell yourself, look, I'm in my stance because I have this shape in space, and I'm moving by rotating my joints, not even thinking, you know, not thinking of going anywhere, just rotating the joints in place, which will then cause the external motion, which is true. But you don't have the pump, it's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be whatever it is, but it's not going to have the same power. So, you know, those three aspects, that's why I stress the importance of them all. And the third one I'm going to get to answer your question now, okay? So
Repeat the question.
his question was about using the rotation of the center of mass when you're doing the forms. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, you're more static. You're not moving. You're like jump Q, usual pivot, UG, pivot.
Okay, so I'm not sure. What you're saying, when you're not moving,
When you're static, when you're more static, just going through that, especially the first third of the form.
and you say the first third of the form because typically it's done slowly.
Yeah.
But it's not, still not static. I mean,
No.
you're not moving.
But yeah, what are you thinking as far as center of mass?
Okay,
What
yeah.
are-
That was the question. Okay. So, yes, ultimately, you want to train everything as a function of movement, as a function of the rotation of the center of mass. So sure, you can stand there in your stance and maybe even have Peng and, you know, joint rotations to accomplish all the movements in the form, okay? But you're not using your center of mass yet, okay? Your awareness, your concentration, your attention might be on the stance, it might be on rotation of joints, it's on wherever you place it, okay? But if you place it in your center of mass and you leave it there, and every movement becomes about rotating here. Now, I'm not talking about externally, like I need to do this when I do my certain motions. No, you're not. But it's the idea of the rotation in your center. And you'll feel it. And what are you feeling, okay? I'm not an anatomist. I don't really have a good answer, but to me this makes a little bit of sense. I mean, muscles are being engaged, core muscles. So that's what you're feeling. Muscles inside. You might feel some activity here.
Yeah.
Muscles are being activated when you just think of rotating this. You stand there and right now and you start to like feel this area and then start it turning, you know, where it's actually turning, it's not, but the idea of it, and you're going to feel activity there, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to power your hand motions. So, come here a minute. So it's not like, okay, hold my wrist. Good. So I'm going to go this way or something. You just resist anything you feel. If I say to myself, oh, I want to move my hand over here, you know, this one, okay? I can, then, and my mind is on doing that, so basically my mind is here. I start to go. It's immediately a fight, increased pressure at the point of contact, and I have a problem, okay? Instead, if I just feel the rotation of my body, is a difference, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not doing this, I'm pivoting externally that you can see, but inside I feel like this. You know, sometimes it's referred to as a twisting towel. Okay, that's a common expression. You know, you twist a towel, you hold either end and you twist it, and it's building up potential energy. So then when it's released, there's energy that's released. Okay? So that's that feeling inside of you. And you can just stand there and apply that idea of twisting towel, if you will, and here, yes, but everywhere in your body. So you can feel it in your legs, you can feel it in your arms, you feel it everywhere. Everything's going like this, okay? And that feeling is also causing you the joint rotations. This way you stand there and you're, like everything is moving, but you're not really going anywhere yet, okay? That's the power of the body. So yes, that's a very important point. When you feel how to use your center that way, activate it, make it move, okay? And that begins with the idea of it. Then you want to ideally be doing that for every motion you make in every form. And you want to have that happening when you, everything you do in Wing Chun. Chi Sao, everything means everything. Every form, the wood man, the weapons, everything. It's a part of how you're moving. It's really the essence of how you're moving. So come back for a second. You try it. So put a hand up, either one. I'm just holding you, and I want you to like move it that way. And first just move, think of your hand and move it. It's a fight. You might very well be able to pull me along because you're stronger than I am, but you can feel the effort that's involved. So instead, just here, here, and now start twisting the towel. That's great. Now, somebody else come up and feel it so you don't think I'm making this shit up, okay? Anybody. You can take turns. He's doing it correctly. Now that I said it, I'll probably fuck it up, but, you know, compliment.
So am I pushing, or how am I feeding for him?
You're pulling here. Hold him like this. Now, he's going to move this way, and you're not going to let him.
Right.
But this is just an example so you can feel what the power of what he's doing. So you're not going to do things like, oh, no, you're going to lift up or move over here. You can do all kinds of things, but this is just a...
Single.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, that was great.
Yeah, right. One
Wow.
more time.
Yeah.
So let me try to resist a little bit more.
And-
Same exact line of drive of resistance. And I caught myself there, but free that joint more.
Better. And try it another time, same thing. But now, before you do it, stand up straight.
Oh, I already feel it. You're pulling the back of my scapula. That was awesome. You connected right to my spine as you stood up. Right there, yeah. You're like pulling my feet out from under me. I'm on carpet now, so.
Don't slump.
Somebody else want to
Because
feel?
the thing of it is, we might do this because we feel we have to like involve our body. Because when you're doing it like this, to you it feels like it's just your arm. So like, how can I move him when I'm not really making an effort, right? This effortless power they always talk about. So you need this the stance so that it all is and so when you twist the towel here, good. The body is acting as one, which is what gives you the power. But you don't feel the power because it's one thing. It's like if you're a statue, you carved out of wood or stone, and including your arm, and somebody grabs your arm, and you're a statue, and you can move, the statue would move, the guy would just be coming along for the ride, right? So it's kind of like that, except obviously, we're not a statue, and we have all these articulable limbs and so forth because of our joints. But it's that kind of a thing. So it is important to stand up when you do all this stuff. This, okay.
Can I add
Why
something?
don't we all try this? Yes.
When you're standing up or anytime you're in that stance or have that, would you say that your weight is greater on your heels than
No. Flat of the foot.
flat?
Yeah, like, right here. Okay? Not up here, not the heel.
Okay.
Just comfortably
Relaxing the arch of the
on the
foot.
ground.
So you're summoning your foot, you're relaxing the arch of the foot downward.
Your foot is relaxed.
Yeah.
You're not
Right.
taking your toes and gripping the ground like some people do in martial arts, particularly karate, you know, right? No, I'm just here. Everything is natural. I'm not making any effort in any part of my body to do anything, except I'm aware of I'm aware of my straight spine, my alignment, at least as best as I can do it, okay? That's it. There is nothing else to the stance other than I'm here, okay? By itself, it's very effective. Like, okay, come and push my arm. So all I'm doing is this, that's it. You can't move me. I'm not doing anything except standing there. Now I have Peng. He pushes. It's even more resistant to his pressure. Okay?
Are there any points to consider or recommendations you could make when applying these concepts to more aggressive forms like Chung Q and BUG? That when you're doing Sil and Tao, I mean, it's relatively easy to think about all the parts, you know.
Okay.
Standing and Peng and rotating the center and, you know, don't move until you're ready to move,
Okay.
you know, your body wants to move, that kind of stuff. That's great for Sil and Tao.
Okay.
But then it seems like it's an order of magnitude different when you get into more aggressive forms like Chung Q and BUG.
Okay. Why?
Because
Because you're doing
your
more?
attention is being dissipated by all the other activity.
Okay. Okay. Remember what I said about that Lunga Wing guy? She's signing with a guy from Australia, and the guy goes, I can't concentrate. And Lunga Wing goes, you must concentrate. You must concentrate. Okay? So what you want to do is have all of that in place, everything we talked about. And that's where your concentration stays. Okay, let's just talk about it this way. What's in my mind? Okay, what's in my mind is my Peng. I've got this. Okay, I practice standing. Maybe it's not in my mind, but I'm doing it. So maybe now what's in my mind is my Peng, that feeling, and it's a strong feeling of an opening, kind of like the chills, but actually probably not that strong. Okay? And that's what I have going on right now. So now I start doing my Chung Q motions. My mind is on my Peng. That's why in all of the Wing Chun, you know, the first thing you're going to do is memorize the movements in whatever form you're doing. So that's where your mind is, like, am I supposed to do this, or am I supposed to do this? Whatever the motions are that constitute the form you're practicing. In the beginning, when you're learning the form, whatever it might be, your attention, of course, is on the movements, because you got to memorize them,
Yeah.
so you can do the form, right? But that's not that big a deal, and it doesn't take long to memorize the motions in any particular form. It takes whatever it takes for you. It depends what you put into it, okay? But once you've memorized the motions, so you know, you can go through and do Sunim Tao without thinking about what comes next or, you know, the particular motions, then you can put your attention on other things. For instance, the stance as I'm doing the motion. You get comfortable with that. Then you can put your attention in the Peng. I turn on my Peng before I start to move, which is the answer to one of your earlier questions, I think. Well, when do you begin to move? You keep saying when the body wants you to move. Yeah, okay, you can think of it that way. It's just, I'm not going to move until I have Peng.
Until you're filled with the palm.
Sorry?
Until your whole body is filled with the palm.
Exactly.
So then it doesn't matter, any motion is a motion filled with palm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like begin the form, and you know, at this point, I don't really care how I get into it. I'm not very formal, so it's like, oh, call this and then do it this way or whatever, because I really don't care, because I'm not actually gonna stand like this, okay? So I just kind of stand. My feet are like about shoulder width apart, okay? And I'm just doing what we've already discussed. So I've done that. When I start, my attention is, I'm going to take this stance. So I've done that. So now, okay, I'm going to be like this, because that's how you start the form. So I do this, okay? I'm trying not to slump or change my alignment while I do this. And now, I know, okay, I'm going to do the form, I have to do the forced motion. But I'm not going to do it yet until I can feel Peng everywhere in my body, like you said, okay? That's that in-place expansion. And now that's where my mind is on, that feeling, that way of being. And now I'm going to keep my attention there as I start to move, okay? And the Peng is everywhere in my body as I go through the motions. Now here's my thought. You know, they always say the first third, or with some schools, the whole form, is done very slowly, okay? That's because if you start going fast to do it, you lose the Peng. Is it possible that you don't lose it going at full speed? Of course. But as you train this stuff up, it's easier to maintain the Peng when you're going slowly. So you feel filled up. That's Peng, filled up everywhere. As you move, when you go slowly, you can feel that and maintain it consistently. If you start going fast, well, where's the Peng? I don't know anymore, right? That's what's going to happen, yeah.
So what happens when you start going to Chungkyu and Bilji? I mean, those are much faster forms than...
You just don't have them memorized enough yet.
You've done,
so
you
can't
you've
focus.
trained this up in Sunim Tao.
Yeah,
You've trained up moving with Peng, let's just put it that way,
okay.
okay? And that will include, okay, so I'll just start going faster in Sunim Tao without losing the Peng.
Okay.
You can go at various speeds, whatever you're doing. The important thing is not the position so much, but the maintenance of the Peng and the stance in this way of doing things. So, you know, maybe you build up a facility to go faster without losing that Peng. Now I'm going to do my Chungkyu, okay? So I'm in my stance, and I do, I don't even do the forms anymore, but, because to me it's this other stuff that's important. But be that as it may, you know, you're going, right? And then you're doing the punch, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I want to have Peng
Yeah.
as I'm doing all of that. So it's there while I'm punching, okay? It's there when I'm punching, okay? And then I'm going here, right?
Mhm.
Here,
Yep.
here,
Yeah.
here, here, all that stuff, right? I'm filled up with Peng the whole time,
Okay.
okay? The whole time. And now just to continue, so good, talk about Chungkyu. I want, okay, I keep my stance, I'm filled up with Peng as I go through the motions, okay?
And then you rotate it.
And yes, and I also want to make every motion be a function of twisting the towel, of the rotation of the center of mass, okay? Absolutely. It's never gonna be about what are the arms. The arms. Sure, the arms are moving, but I'm not thinking of that. I'm feeling this. It's rotating. And that's what's moving me. Okay? That's what's moving me. Always. Always.
So you're always building up potential energy instead of releasing kinetic energy.
Yes. Yes. Back in 2008, I'm at the VTA training at Cebu Mas, and I told you this guy, Wing, right? And she signed with this other guy named Alex Mann, who's well known in the lineage, and he's a pretty powerful guy. And I thought he was pretty powerful. And she signed with him. I used to do it with him a lot. And this guy walks in the door, and Alex says to me, "See that guy? He's really powerful." And I'm thinking, Jesus, that's coming from Alex? He must be something, right? So I'm watching the guy, and he's just doing his own thing. He comes in, and he's doing his Sun Tao. I'm watching him. And I've never seen anything like this before. He's standing there, and he's moving like this. That's how he's doing it. Everybody else, they're going, right?
Yeah.
And I'm watching him, and I'm thinking, wow, it must be he's stressing to such a great degree, his relaxation. That's why his hand will fold over, right? Right? I'm watching him, and I'm thinking, that's really cool, right? So I come back the next day, and he's there again, right? And I'm thinking, ooh, I think I got a lot out of watching him do Sun Tao. What about Chung Kyu, right? So I walk up to him and I go, "Can I see your Chung Kyu?" And he looks at me and he goes, "I forget." So he goes, "What do you want to know?" So I think I better say something. So I go, "Oh, what about this?" He goes, "You just do this and walk." Just do this and walk. Okay? Everything was so simple for him. So if you have the condition that we're speaking about, stance, Peng, and you're then moving from the center in that way, everything has power, and you're not leading with the arm motion. You never lead with the arm motion. So yeah, everybody practices their pivoting. You break down, the form, into the individual motions, and you can practice those individual motions. So people stand there and they practice their pivoting, or they stand there and they practice the bong. This is the Wu Sao, this is the Bong Sao, together motions with the stepping, right? If you maintain that it's center first, then you're never going to lead with the arms. It's not this and then this, or it's just this as you're doing this. In fact, it's sort of like the arms come after the movement of the body, but when you get used to doing it, it's just like together. But okay, so who does Chung Kyu?